through that suffering, through that hardship. That pain initiates transformation, and they're going to flip the switch and then realize, I'm lucky to be here. They're going to miss that pit that following Tuesday morning. They're going to send me messages saying, I missed a pit. We have guys that takes jars full of dirt from the pit home with them because it's so meaningful and was so transformative because they flipped the switch out there in the pit because pain initiates transformation. This journey to the best version of yourself starts now with flipping that switch. That's where this journey starts right now. Those goals start right now by flipping this switch because you are capable of load more when you have this mentality of flipping the switch. And this...
Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me.
What's up, freaks? Welcome to another episode of the Steve Eckert Show podcast. And if you've been following this show, you know this podcast is all about helping you flip the switch. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today is flipping the switch, how to flip the switch. We're going to go into so many different areas on how to flip the switch. And I'll tell you what, getting individuals to flip the switch in their lives, both in their mindset, their family, their fitness, their business, their finances, all the F-bombs we talk about in the project. That's why I'm wearing this project shirt today, because we see the switch get flipped for every single individual that finishes the project. That's why I wore this shirt for this episode. It just felt fitting about flipping the switch. That is my role in the project, to get individuals to flip the switch, to do shit that they previously thought was impossible or undoable. It's my motherfucking superpower. Getting people to flip the switch in their lives, personally and professionally. That's what I do with my one-on-one coaching clients, is get them to flip the switch from the way that they were operating to a whole different level, a whole different way of operating to dominate in their mind, their body, and their business. It's about flipping that switch. And we're going to break down all the different areas that I want you to think about flipping the switch. And all these different kind of bullet points we're going to go through today, literally each one of these can be a completely different episode of this podcast. And some of them actually were previous episodes, and some of these bullet points will be their own episodes in the future. But I just want to give you the breakdown of really how to start thinking about flipping the switch. Because the great thing about having a flip the switch mindset, and this goes off of last week's episode, if you listen to it, was on Kill, and you should listen to these episodes progressively. The great thing about the flip the switch mindset is you can hit that switch. It's quick, it's easy, it's immediate. So when I go through these different ways of flipping the switch, they're really all just mantras almost. They're just sayings of flipping the switch, of how to actually do it. And each one of them can have an explanation. I told you each one of them can almost be even their own entire episode, but just the mantras, the phrases, the thought process that goes into each one immediately will help you flip that switch. Like, let's start off simple. We talk about it all the time, flipping the switch from bitch to beast. This is what the project we talk about all the time. That is my superpower, getting men to flip the switch from bitch to beast. And if they are unable to flip that switch, it's getting them to ring the bell, weeding them the fuck out. So you're either going to flip this switch, and I'm going to demand a lot of you in order, because it takes a lot to do this, to have these breakthroughs. It's a breakdown to break through. It's a physical breakdown to have breakthroughs mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually. This is what flipping the switch is about. Bitch to beast is the first one. Next, I want you to think about flipping the switch from emotional to rational. Being a rational motherfucking man. Practice staying calm. When chaos happens, no one wants to follow the fucking idiot that's just running around in circles, all screaming whenever in a emergency situation. But then you see these grown-ass men that when tiny little things happen, little speed bumps happen in the day, little tiny miniature fires that you could put out with a pile of spit, and they start acting like it's the end of the fucking world, like it's the apocalypse. You don't want to be that one. No one wants to follow an emotional fucking train wreck. Flip the switch from emotional to rational. That's why I told you these are so simple. You can just think in your head, emotional to rational, boom, got it. Bitch to beast, boom, got it. These don't even need long explanations. So I'm just going to run through all these. And some of them we will do deep dives into in future episodes. And some I'll even tell you about that we've already did a deep dive into in previous episodes, and I'll tell you which ones to go back and listen to if you haven't listened to the previous episodes. The next one is to flip the switch from chaos to order. It's one of my top keynote speeches I do when I'm speaking around the country and I'm getting paid to go in and speak on stage, is taking your life from chaos to order. It's all about time blocking. It's all about taking control of your life instead of your life taking control of you. You controlling the puppet strings of your life instead of someone else. You pushing the buttons of your life instead of letting someone else, and then breaking it down tangibly into actual time blocks and how to implement those into your life so you could take your life from chaos to order, from work-life imbalance to work-life symmetry, work-life fulfillment, work-life fucking awesomeness. That's what chaos to order is. So think, flip the switch, chaos to order. Sometimes it's all it takes. It's just a little mantra. Like last week, we talked about kill. Just kill, boom, done. It's a done deal. When I'm procrastinating or thinking or having any kind of doubt or fear or procrastination, something, all literally I have to do is tell myself in my head, kill. And bam, it's fucking done. It's a done deal. Same thing with all of these different mantras of flipping the switch, chaos to order. Next is flipping the switch from obstacles to opportunities, or adversity to advantage, or turning your suffering into a superpower. All those tie together, but all those are fucking powerful. I'm going to repeat those again because they're worth repeating. Flipping the switch from obstacles to opportunities. Flipping the switch from adversity to advantage. Flipping the switch from your suffering to superpower. And here's a challenge I want to give you. Because it's easy to talk about this stuff, or it's easy to coach someone about this stuff when they're going through something. Tell them, you know what, one day you're going to look back on this situation and be like, thank God this thing happened to me because it led to this bigger and better thing. But I want to challenge you. The next time some shit goes sideways and you're going through some traumatic experience or some tough times, I want you to think during, not after those bad times, not a year later or a decade later saying, oh, remember that time when this, and you laugh about it long out in the future. I want you to laugh about it while it's fucking happening. I want you to laugh during the bad times, during the chaos, during the slow times. I want you to already start thinking and future forecasting of it like, thank God this thing is happening to me right now because it's making me stronger. It's giving me more patience. It's teaching me more discipline, building my resilience muscle. That's what I want you to think about the next time during it going on. And I'm talking about even if it's a crazy situation. Be thankful for it. Have gratitude for those things. That's turning obstacles into opportunities when you're in the middle of them. That is a motherfucking superpower. That is a ultimate flipping of the switch. The obstacles to opportunities, the adversity to advantage, the turning suffering into superpower. Like when I was a kid, I never had a single conversation with my father. Never played with him. Never sat on the floor and played Legos with me, never threw a football to me, never taught me how to change a tire, how to change the oil in my car, nothing. And that made me a ghost. That made me alone. That made me be a loner. That made me have a miserable childhood where I just felt worthless, useless. But you know what it also did? It gave me shitloads of fucking patience. It let me be able to sit in a room alone by myself and get so much shit done because I'm used to that. It was built into me. It was built into my DNA. So thank God that shit happened to me because it made me who I am. And it also showed me what does it look like to be a horrible father. So I said, oh, copy that. There's the framework. Just flip the switch on that shit onto trying to be at least a super dad and a super husband. Think about that. Taking that suffering and turning it into a superpower. Shit, I could walk and hike and have endurance and conditioning for days. You know, when I was 2 years old, I had a stroller only until I was about 2 years old. The stroller broke. We first moved to a new part of New York. We were walking to this department store that was like a 2.5 hour walk away because my mother didn't have a car, didn't have a driver's license when I was a kid, so we walked everywhere. My stroller broke. They ditched it on the side of the road, and I just walked everywhere the rest of my childhood. I'm talking about miles and miles everywhere. And then wherever we were going, getting groceries and carrying them home at 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, the entire childhood. That was a superpower. Now, when it comes down to it, I go do some training, or I'm going on these hikes, or doing things like the project, or doing out with some coaching clients and doing some ridiculous training and sessions, and shit, that is a superpower. Like, thank God that stroller broke that day. And I remember walking, it was like we just moved to Rockland County. When I was 2 years old, we were walking to Caldor, which is now Walmart years later, but it used to be Caldor. If you even know what that is, that's a 1980s department store. They're completely out of business. We were walking to Caldor and that stroller broke like a quarter of a mile away from our house. And this was like a 3 mile walk. Thank God that fucking stroller broke down because it gave me the endurance to last in these long days that I have to do now. It allowed me to become who I am today, the project instructor. It allowed me to do these 24-hour workouts that we do. Thank God I was a ghost when I was a kid because it allowed me to sit alone in a room, or as I was building up my different businesses, gym businesses and my one-on-one coaching businesses and speaking businesses. It allowed me to sit there alone in a room for days at a time to build shit from scratch and turn them into $1 million companies. That's what turning a suffering into superpower is. Another way of flipping the switch is taking losses, turning them into lessons. Every day you should be reflecting on what lessons did you learn today? What did I learn today about myself? What did I learn today about other people? What did I learn today about the world, the universe? Like, what losses did I have today that I can turn into lessons? Because you only win or you learn. There are no motherfucking losses. That's flipping the switch. Flipping the switch from average to awesome. Flipping the switch from negative to positive, not just going default negative in every situation. Finding the upside to everything, no matter fucking what, even while you're going through with it, like I said earlier. How about flipping the switch from impossible to possible? Or not even just impossible to possible, but how about impossible to motherfucking done? Like it's a done deal. It used to be impossible, but I'm flipping that fucking switch and now it's done. That's also what we do in the project. That's also what I do with one-on-one coaching clients, is help them flip that switch to shit that they thought was impossible about their lives, about their fitness, about their careers and their business, places they never thought were possible to go, and getting it done. I had a client who, his entire career, he would meet with every single potential client and current client every freaking month in person. And maybe to start the business, that was what was needed. But to maintain it and to grow and scale, it's just not scalable. So now we're talking 20 years later, he's still doing that. All he's doing all day is meeting with all these different people. And we just had to flip the switch in his mind that was no longer necessary. It was no longer serving him to get to the level he needed to get to, give him the freedom and the time he needed to have with his sons. And he took all those, he stopped having those monthly meetings, turned them into yearly or quarterly, depending on the level of the client, and turned 90% of them into just Zoom meetings, not even in person. And it freed up like 75% of his schedule. And his business is just skyrocketing. His freedom is skyrocketing. His fulfillment is skyrocketing. His time with his sons and getting to know his family and his sons and connecting with them is fucking skyrocketing. And that's the most important one. By just flipping the switch of thinking about it seems impossible. I can't do that because that's not how I grew my business. No, it's not just possible. It's fucking done. That's flipping the switch. Flipping the switch from just thoughts to action. And that goes back to last week of just kill. Stop thinking about it, just boom, and kill. Yeah. Thought to action. Flipping the switch from worry to wisdom, meaning going from playing checkers to playing chess, a whole different way of operating. While everyone else is moving in a specific direction, you are just outthinking, outsmarting, maneuvering, planning 10 moves ahead, strategizing, thinking if this goes wrong, I'm going to do this. This is going to be my backup plan to here. Here's the end goal. That's going to be non-negotiable, but the way that I'm going to get there is motherfucking negotiable. I could have different various routes on that chessboard while this motherfucker's just doing little checkers. That's flipping the switch. Flipping the switch from balance to symmetry. Big difference. Balance is boring. Balance is average. Symmetry is control. Symmetry is freedom. Symmetry is happiness and fulfillment. Flipping the switch from the past and the future way of looking at things to the fucking present. Stop stressing and worrying about the past, having fear and anxiety of the future, and take those and flip the switch into this moment, because both of those are useless and don't matter without this fucking moment. The shit that happened in the past, you're going to make it all happen in vain if you don't use it to make right now in this moment fucking better. And the shit that you want to happen that you're worried about in the future is going to be all fucked up if you don't come right back to this moment also. So flip that switch from past and present, or past and future, to motherfucking present. That's a whole new way of thinking of flipping the switch. And goal setting. And there was an entire episode we did on goal setting a couple episodes back, so make sure you check that out. Flipping the switch from victim to victor. Stop being the fucking victim in your life and start being the victor. Flipping the switch from being complacent to being consistent. Now, complacent you might think is being consistent, but it's just losing focus, losing track. And as we say in the military, complacency kills. But then you also say consistency kills. Consistency kills in a good way. Complacency kills in a bad way. Just like last week, the word kill. Depends on how you look at the word kill. Complacency kills, but so does consistency. Consistency kills. Consistency is the motherfucking key. Flip the switch from boring to fun. Just stop making shit so worried about everything and find a way to turn everything into fun. Like, I will crack a joke at a fucking funeral. I'll find a tragic way to lighten it up and make a damn joke. Like, that is flipping the switch instead of living in fucking misery or just being boring all the time. Have a sense of fucking humor. Boring to fun. Flip the switch from taking to giving and see where that takes you in your life. Stop worrying about what's in it for you. Worry about what's in it for other people. What value you could bring. What you could do for other people. Flip the switch from taking to giving. Flip the switch from distraction to discipline. Like, I don't check my email until 60 minutes minimum after I wake up. I set boundaries throughout the day. That is to flip the switch from distractions into discipline. That's not answering the phone or notifications are off on my phone. I won't know if someone's calling me, texting me, or if their emails came in until I go into the texting app and actually open it up. That's flipping the switch from distraction to discipline. Flipping the switch from being fixed to growth-minded. There's an entire book on that called, I think, Mindset. Check that out. If you haven't read that book, awesome book about flipping that switch. Stop being fixed in the way that you think needs to be doing. Start thinking about growth, other opportunities, other possibilities. Because if you're stuck in that fixed mindset, you're going to miss out and not be able to exploit or be ready for those opportunities when they come about. Flip the switch from scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. There was an entire episode on that, the difference between being rich and wealthy. That's what we're talking about there. Go back and listen to that episode. It's also the difference between being poor and broke. We break that down that same episode. It's all about having an abundance mindset over a scarcity mindset. That is a flipping of the motherfucking switch. Flip the switch from pain and pleasure to purpose instead. Do stuff with purpose, not because you're avoiding pain or you're looking for pleasure. Do it because there's a fucking purpose behind it, a meaning, a higher calling. Flip that switch and I guarantee your life will fucking change. From pain and pleasure to purpose. Massive, massive flipping of the switch right there. Flip the switch from procrastination to patience. Patience is basically tactical procrastination. It's voluntary procrastination. It's being patient. It's not looking for the quick fix or the easy button. It's planting the seeds and watching that plant grow and cultivate till it fucking explodes. Being patient, having not looking for the easy way out. Not looking for instant gratification, instead delayed gratification. Think of that, flipping the switch from instant gratification to delayed gratification. That's the same as procrastination to patience. Flipping the switch from being passive to being active. Stop sitting and waiting and hoping and just praying and manifesting. Yeah, that's all a good start, but you need to get off your fucking ass and be active. Flip the switch from passive to active. And I love this one. Flip the switch from fear to freedom. And this goes back to kill last week on kill the fear, the doubt, and procrastination. Killing the fear and flipping that switch from fear to freedom when it comes to starting a family, starting your own business. Shit, that's what we had to do for opening a gym. I quit my job at a gym just to go off on my own and do in-home training. That was a big flipping of the switch. I had to kill that fear and doubt and procrastination. Then from doing in-home training, which became a successful company, I had to take it to the next level. And the next level meant I had to flip that switch and actually open up a commercial building. And then after that, I had to flip the switch to say, all right, we're going to move to California. That was a flipping of the switch. That was killing the fear, the doubt, procrastination. That's why I said, listen to these episodes in order. Listen to last week and then this week. During the project, there's this evolution that we visit many times. It's called the PIT. The PIT, P-I-T. And it stands for Pain Initiates Transformation. And in that pit, it's like a magical portal. That is where we see this switch that we're talking about getting flipped with every single individual that graduates the project. Because they're going to go through that threshold, through that pain, through that suffering, through that hardship, That pain initiates transformation. And they're going to flip the switch and then realize, I'm lucky to be here. They're going to miss that fucking pit that following Tuesday morning. They're going to send me messages saying, I missed a pit. We have guys that takes jars full of dirt from the pit home with them because it's so meaningful and was so transformative because they flipped the switch out there in the pit because pain initiates transformation. Like we said, flip the switch from suffering to your superpower, from adversity to advantage, because the pain is necessary, because no great success has ever come without a significant level of suffering, sacrifice, hardship, and a whole lot of motherfucking pain. Now, this all sounds easy, but it's not always easy to grow. This takes pain. This takes suffering. This takes hard work. It takes a lot of time and energy and focus to adapt, overcome, and destroy the obstacles that are preventing your success in your life. Now, you can create an awesome fucking life, no matter how many times the universe kicks you in the nuts, as long as you have this ability to flip the switch. If you go back to all those different points that we made of how to flip the switch, you could pull any one of those. And when the universe kicks you in the nuts and bitch slaps you and kicks dirt in your face while you're down, you just have to have the ability and the strength and the knowledge and the self-awareness to flip the motherfucking switch. This journey to the best version of yourself starts right fucking now with flipping that switch. That's where this journey starts right now. Those goals start right now by flipping this switch, because you are capable of a shitload more when you have this mentality of flipping the switch. And this is what I do with gentlemen going through the project. This is what I do when I'm speaking on stage, is helping the audience, the crowd, to flip the switch in all these different ways that we're talking about. This is what I do with one-on-one private coaching, what I do with high-end entrepreneurs, business owners, managers that are looking to level up in their mindset, their family, their fitness, and their business. Because you're capable of a shitload more when you have someone in your corner that actually believes in you, probably more than you believe in yourself, and can help you flip these switches so you can make these changes and have these transformations and have these breakthroughs. Someone who can help you stay focused and disciplined. And that's what the coaching that we do and the project that we do and all this is all about, because together we can flip these switches in your mind, your body, and your business. It's about working together to make your vision a freaking reality and start accomplishing more than you ever imagined. That's where that flipping the switch from impossible to done starts. Sometimes it has to be with coaching. So stop waiting, stop procrastinating, trying to figure shit all out on your own, because no real success is done alone or without suffering or pain or sacrifice or hard work and having the ability to flip the switch. And a lot of times a solid coach will be the one to help you discover those switches that you need to flip. So listen, if you're interested in creating this best life, interested in learning how to flip the switch, let's talk about it. Let's get to fucking work. Let's flip the switch. This is what it's all about. If you need some help with it, let me know. Reach out. I can help you out with that, whether it's with coaching, coming to do some speaking, working with your team, or getting you locked in on the project or the Squire, the father-son program. All that going on, all of that is within my superpower, my zone of genius of helping motherfuckers flip the switch. So if you need help with that, let me know. And if you ever need to just check in with these different mantras, these different flipping of the switches can happen in an instant, in just a quick moment. Boom, flip the switch, suffering to superpower. From emotional to rational, whichever one it is. Bam, it's a flip of the switch right in your head when you start thinking this way. It becomes automatic, becomes easy. So if this video has helped you out, make sure that you like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, your family. Put some comments down below. What are some of the ways that you flip the switch in your life? And what are some of the ways you still need to flip the switch in your life? Put it down below. Let me know. I want to hear all about it. Flip the switch, starting right fucking now. Flip the motherfucking switch. And in case no one told you yet today, you are fucking awesome. No excuses.